set off.
You see that? So when you look at everything from that perspective, concerning the scriptures, what the scriptures are saying and what she said, brother, it all makes sense. That we are the right guys for the job, man.
Scripture says, what go ye for out there to see? They that live in king's houses have soft apparel.
Right.
Fingers and knuckles.
Right. They wear the gay clothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And gay just means happy, man. That's what it means.
Yeah, it don't mean, two faggots getting together. It just means to be happy. Keep going.
Revelation 3:11. And behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Him that overcometh, I will make a pillar in the temple of my God.
Right, it says him that overcometh shall he make what is it? Read that again.
It's like verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
Will he make a pillar in the temple of the Most High? So we're going to be exalted and glorified, heavenly. That's what we look forward to. So in order for us to get that, we got to hold on to this truth and realize that the end is soon to be. As we can clearly see by the prophecies and everything else fall into play. All right, and what I realize is what we're going to start seeing is a lot of these demons, man, they're going to turn up. Everything's going to turn up. The demons that's pretty much got these people all jacked up, all messed up in the head. Those demons are going to intensify, and you're going to see a lot of people lose their mind like never before. It's like I always talk about amongst the brothers, most people have mental problems. And the reason for that is because they got demons on them. That's why the people do the heinous shit that they do. Because it's just demons that's got them possessed.
Yeah.
Okay? And them demons are going to intensify, man. Everything's going to turn up next year. Things that you thought would never could happen, more so is going to happen next year. Okay? Go on, brother.
Verse 13. Right? He that hath an ear, let him hear the Spirit saith unto the churches. And this is the church right here, man. Alright? That's why we're all, what does church mean? Ecclesia, which means to what? To call out, right?
Call out, yeah.
So that's what we're doing. I remember a couple months ago when Dawood was preaching, he made a good point. He said, those of our people are here, but do they stop?
No.
When they do stop, they try to teach us.
Right.
And they don't know anything themselves.
Right. And that's just the thing with our people. That's a very key point, because that's our people for you. They act as though they know it all, but when you really hear them out and hear what they have to say, it don't make any sense. It's just them freestyling what they assume life is all about. But they're not going by what the scriptures are saying. Now you may have certain chicks, they may have their own experiences there and there, but we dealing with the truth right here. We're dealing with the truth that's gonna save you. We're not dealing with some old BS that your mom told you, or some old BS that some nigga out on the street corner told you. We dealing with the truth that holy men spake and gave us, and we teaching you now. All right, go on.
John 15 and 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin.
Right, read that again.
All right, John chapter 15 verse 22. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had had no sin.
Right.
But now they have no cloak for their sin.
Right, because the word was pushed out there already. So all over the world, the Israelites all over the world. And you do have camps out there that teach the wrong things concerning the scriptures. All right, or they go off concerning the prophecies. But they do teach that the so-called black, so-called Latinos and Native American Indians are the Israelites. They teach that. And that's just to make Jake aware of what they need to be doing. So when all hell breaks loose and the Most High brings the hell right in front of them, can't nobody say, well, I didn't know, Lord, because you did know, because you were all around. You were already here doing the work. Now you could say that if we weren't out here doing the work, then you could make that statement and you'd be true. Okay, you'd be correct. But that's not the case, because we've been pushing this word out. And so much so that even in the midst, the end came. Pursuant to, Matthew 24. This gospel shall get into all of the world, and then shall the end be. Yeah, go on.
Romans 16 and 17 says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offences contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. For they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly.
Right, and that's what you have with a lot of these cats. They're just out there to make themselves look great. Get some kind of vain glory. Views, ratings, views goes within vain glory, and that's what they're doing, or trying to get paid, using the street to get paid.
Yeah, it says
so with that being the case, we got pretty much mark those that will cause a confusion, man. Now, if you look at the word mark, the word that I believe is scopeo. So we're supposed to scope these men out and put these guys on the forefront so that other people are aware that these guys are fucking false prophets, man, heresies or heretics.
Can I say something on that? Because there's a brother I watch, he's an elder, I can't remember his name, but I think his channel is Defender for the Truth, and he gets a lot of scoffers on there. And they're always talking about why he was going against Adam Abbott and these other camps, but it just tells you, the scripture just
told you that. Right, but that's just the thing, brother. You gotta understand, a lot of these Hebrew Israelite camps out there, or these dudes that listen to us, they're not really deep. And you know that they don't read the scriptures, because if they read the scriptures, they would be asking such questions. Why you always getting on the Israelites? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? Because what I realize, right, is you have a lot of people that wake up to the truth, but they don't read the scriptures. All they do is watch videos. That's how they get hit to the truth, but they don't read the scriptures for themselves. Because if they would have actually read the scriptures for themselves, they would come and understand that great millstone is the camp to follow. Alright, because when I came into the truth, man, I was watching the videos, but I was also reading my Bible at the same time. And also studying and marking certain scriptures down. And that's how you learn the scriptures. Not just watching videos and you pulling out some popcorn, and while you're doing that, you cooking fried chicken, all right, in the oven somewhere. You know, you get your Kentucky fried chicken, and you rewarming it so you can get ready for them shows to come up, man.
So I say so. No, because some of them do look at it as entertainment, man.
Yeah.
And remember when we was in Peckham, that guy that always came and stopped, leather jacket, cane roll. I said to him before we left Peckham, I said, you know so much, but if you don't come in its truth, it's going to be a waste of time.
Right.
You know? That's why we read that scripture, if I had not spoken unto them, they have had no sin.
Right.
Now there's no cloak, meaning no excuse, because you've been told that these things are coming. You've been told that you're Israelite.
Exactly.
So that blood is off our hands, basically.
Exactly, man. So this is not an entertainment thing.
Yeah.
This is not something that you watch and, you know what I mean, let me pull out the popcorn and eat my Doritos and what have you, and just sit back and you know, pretty much puff up your chest. Yeah, man, yeah, we Israelites, man, and all of that nonsense. Now you're supposed to watch these videos so that you can gain the understanding and that you can be saved.
Wow.
That's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You got guys watching the videos, jumping up out of their chair. Yeah, you tell them, brother, you tell them. And then they'll walk past you. Shalom, brother, shalom. But where they at? They're not in the highways and the byways. They're not standing out here listening to the word of the Lord. They just bullshit, man. Give me that in Ezekiel. I think it's in Ezekiel 12, man. Where it says they come unto thee. Yeah, get that scripture. Because you got a lot of people, they know the truth, and they know that they're Israelites, but they don't want to read the scriptures.
Yeah.
They don't want to pull out their pen and their pen and pad, or read the scriptures and then mark certain precepts down to learn this thing. They don't want to do that. Right? No pictures. No pictures. That's all right.
Was that quoted?
Yeah, I think it's Ezekiel 12. Let me see something.
Yeah, there's a rapper new on the scene with the freestyle. He even Pastor Tahar put it on one of his re-uploads, and he's got so much lyrics, freestyling, and knowledge which is good, but it needs to be, you know what I mean? If you don't come in the truth with all that knowledge what he's got, and you know, like the brother said, there's people that got a lot of knowledge, history knowledge, and he was cutting the Edomite guy with pure lyrics and freestyle. But it's good what he's doing still, but if you need, with all that knowledge there, you go to waste. He needs to be in the truth, man, with that knowledge, man. You know? Because he's just seeing it as entertainment. Obviously watching the videos, but he's taking the lyrics, the knowledge, and using it to freestyle.
Yeah, you have that
to get views.
Exactly.
And for it to go viral. Yeah, to make money. But really, it would be better for him to come in the truth and let go all that rubbish there.
And I wanna go into that as well, man, because you got a lot of these guys out there as well amongst Israel. Not a lot, but you got reasonable amount of guys in this truth that are actually rapping about this truth.
Yeah.
And you can't correlate rap with this truth, man. How you gonna try and merge? How you gonna amalgamate rap music into this? It's two different things, man. But see, Jake wanna add something that's a part of the world that has nothing to do with the Bible at all into this truth. Because see, when you come into this truth, you gotta be a new man, man. You gotta let go of that hip hop bullshit spirit, man. That hip hop black culture bullshit, man. We're not even black, we're Hebrews. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing poetry, but that whole gangster rap, that's all bullshit, man. Our people have been listening to that bullshit for years, and where's it got them?
Yeah,
Nowhere.
that's right.
Or it has got them somewhere, in jail.
Yeah.
Put underneath the grave, and got the world looking at them, look like they're stupid. That's where rap music has gotten our people, alright? But you know what though, man, fuck all of our people, man, fuck them. I'm more concerned about the elect right now. You know what I mean? That's why we teach this word. We're teaching this word for two reasons. It's because we're here to be reconciled. We're here to be reconciled by the Most High, and number two, to gather fruit meet for repentance. That's the two reasons right there. Okay, yo, so give me what is it, John 15 and 16, brother. Give me that one right there. Because all of our people right now, they're not going to get it right now. They're just going down this side and get it back later on. They'll be all right in the kingdom later on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, read that, brother.
John chapter 15, verse 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit. And that your fruit shall remain.
Yeah, your fruit shall remain, exactly. So the Lord ordained us to bring forth fruit. In other words, preach His word, and whoever agrees with His word, we've gained fruit. All right. Now it could be two guys that take heed of what we're saying. We've done our job. It could be 5 guys, but we're not looking for all of our people to receive this truth, because they're not going to receive this truth. So we only dealing with the elect right now. Okay. Now, I mean, I don't know about this guy here. He might disagree with what we're saying, or he might agree. But if he agrees and receives this truth, then we've done our job already. Okay? But that's between him and the Most High. Yeah. Because we're not like those churches where we're trying to persuade you, mentally manipulating you to serve us and hear what we gotta say. We're not doing that. What we're saying is, look, if you receive this doctrine for yourself, then the Lord is dealing with you. But if you don't, then you wasn't supposed to get it. Yeah, go on, brother.
Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
Right.
So the ones of our people that resonate with the doctrine, then they could be a part of the elect, or the 1/3. But the ones that don't, the Bible says, can two walk together except they be agreed, man?
Yeah.
Like my mum and dad, my dad's Muslim, my mum's Christian. That was doomed to fail, man. You know, because they're not walking together because they don't agree on their religious beliefs.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're doing our job, but a part of that job as well is to tell our people what's coming and to prepare ourselves as well, because I'm telling you, there's going to be so much hell on the earth. Some so-called brothers in Great Millstone, they're going to be peeing their pants, all right? They're going to be scared. Some of them are going to take the microchip because they're not going to be of the elect.
And you know, and the ultimate reason for that, because they weren't rooted.
That's right.
They wouldn't root it. So in order for you to, if you're gonna come in this truth, your intention is just to find a place to where you can root yourself and then build yourself in this under this grace. Because we're under grace right now. The reason why we're in this condition as a people, right? And I have to say that just so Israel, all of Israel can hear what we're saying, and then ultimately we can gather the elect through that. But the reason why we're in the condition that we're in because we've sinned against Heavenly Father many of times, and the Most High had enough of our bullshit. So this is why we're in the ghettos, we're in the favelas, and everywhere in the world you see us at, we just down and out. You know, there's relation issues between the so-called black man and the so-called black woman, which I don't want to use the term black because no one's black. We're Israelites. So the reason why you have all these issues concerning our people, because our people are under the curses right now. But what the Most High is going to do, the Most High is only concerned about those that are going to believe, that are going to make an effort to believe on His name, and by believing on His name, they're going to do the works. Pursuant to John the 2nd chapter. All right, you got something, right?
Yeah, I got something. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1, we then, as workers together with Him, beseech you also that you receive not the grace of God in vain.
Right, that you receive not the grace of the Most High in vain. That's why we do what we do. Not to gather all of our people, but to really gather the elect. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. Because the elect, they're going to be more persuaded in taking heed to the truth. Like it tells you in John. Matter of fact, get John 10, verse 10. Get John 10 and 10. Somebody get John 10 and 10 real quick. You read what you got?
2 Corinthians 6, verse start at 4. But in all things, approving yourselves as the ministers of God.
And that's what we have to do. We have to approve of ourselves as the ministers of God. The word minister just simply means servant. So we're the servants of the Most High. Okay, that's what we are. So if we're serving the Most High, we have to do everything that's written in this book. And also make sure that our doctrine is straight. Because if our doctrine is off, then the blood is going to be on our hands. All right?
In much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses,
Right.
in stripes, in imprisonments, in tumults, in labors, in watchings, in fastings. Right?
Exactly. So, brother, get me not John 10 and 10, but get me verse 14. John 10 and 14.
It's like you said earlier, when you come in, it gets harder. All right, but the Lord will. You read that scripture earlier that the Lord is not going to give you too much that you can't handle. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
John 10 and 14 says, I am the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine.
Right, and I'm known of mine. So how is the sheep going to be known of Yahushua? By hearing what the prophets are saying, and then coming to some full understanding of what's being said. That's how they're going to be known of Yahushua. They're going to know Him based on what the prophets are saying, and they're going to be remembered based on what they had before, because they were the same men back in the reincarnation that believed. Pursuant to the book of Micah. Believers Malachi 4. It says, I shall stir up your minds. I shall stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance. So what are we going to be reminded of? This information that we had before. Go on.
Yeah, that was another precept. This is John 15, starting at 1. It says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman.
Yeah.
Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, He taketh away.
Right.
And every branch that beareth fruit, He purgeth me, that it may bring forth more fruit.
Exactly. So the vine is Yahushua. We ought to build on that. He's the foundation. Like you had certain guys, they said GMS is the foundation. No, GMS is not the foundation. Yahushua is the foundation. Okay? So we ought to stand on that foundation and build on that foundation. Okay? That's where the true growth comes in. You know? Yeah, read on, brother, if you got any more on that.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, yeah, get me you got some already, huh?
Yeah, I got some already.
Read that.
Actually, there is a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, read that.
A little bit. It says, verse 3, it says, now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
Right, we're made clean by the word which the Lord has spoken unto us. And the Most High spoke unto us by the men, the apostles and great millstone, which we all were taught.
Make a point. Can I make a point about
It says in verse 4. Oh, sorry, you're going to say something?
No, I'll say.
Let me continue reading, bro.
Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me.
Right.
Verse 5, I am the vine, ye are the branches.
Right, he is the vine and we are the branches. So if we work together in unison, then there's much more fruit that can be grown. And this is why in Great Millstone you have brothers all over the world. You have GMS camps all over the world. Why? Because the apostles maintained themselves under the foundation. Okay? They maintained themselves within the foundation, which is Yahushua. They did the work under the foundation of Yahushua. Let me say that one and better. And now we're their fruits, which has proliferated. Because I didn't get this shoot in America, although I am from America, but I didn't get this shoot from America. I got this shoot while I was here. Okay, go on, brother.
It says, he that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, ye can do nothing.
Exactly. And another way that you abide in Yahushua is by also getting your doctrine straightened out. So if you teaching, you got 98% of the truth correct, but 2% of it's wrong, you ain't under the foundation of Yahushua. You under your own foundation. You building up another foundation, but you didn't even have to do that. All you had to do is correspond with those that already got the truth already. That's all it is. That's it. You know? Yeah, I want to get this other scripture, man, because I was on this point and I want to finish on how you got guys that will agree and hear what we have to say because it sounds delightsome to the ear and it looks delightsome to the eyes as well, about how the Israelites and how we're going to enslave the nations and how we have the nation, you know, how we have Esau or Edomites, whether it be a homeless bum Edomite or whoever it may be, which is of another nation, they'll come down and bow before our foot and get the dust of our feet. Yeah. And you have all kind of views and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You got these guys, so they're looking at it from an entertainment perspective. And I got a precept for that. I want to go back and deal with that subject matter just real quick, and we're gonna go back to what we was going into before. It's in Ezekiel. Let's see something.
Yeah, before camp, last week before camp, someone acknowledged, and he went down on his knees, didn't he? Before the camera, there's no cameras, just me, my art, and Ahab, just talking among ourselves, and someone just come up and just that did obeisance to you off camera.
What's that?
Last week before camp, before we set up, someone come and they did obeisance to you. I'm just reminding you. You don't remember, but they came up while we was talking among ourselves. Me, you, and Ahab. We was just talking among ourselves, and what looked like an Edomite with an Irish accent came up and he went down on one knee and did obeisance to you. But I remember.
Right.
And Ahab was saying, "Boy, the man just done obeisance to you," but we didn't do anything. It wasn't for the camera.
Right.
It's just a sign of the time that people know the Israelites are coming up. We don't need to flex our muscles. We don't need to
do all of that. Right.
And on the way home, the same last week, on the way home, someone just came up to me and went like that to me. I had a sign, but it was covered, so he didn't know.
Yeah.
It just went like that, and I was in one of my moods. But he went Happy Christmas, and I just got away from him. But that shows that we're coming up.
Yeah, we're getting that
through
shine.
the Spirit.
Naturally, we're naturally getting that shine amongst the people. So we don't have to go out there trying to flex
That's
out
the point.
and trying to, be braggadocious and trying to, gain some kind of popularity. You ain't gotta do all of that. All we gotta do is be ourselves.
Right.
Because I've had, a few people come up and say, "Man, I've seen you, man. I think I've seen you somewhere, man." You know what I'm saying? Like you get that from people. Or people may even look at you and they may not even know you, but they see something about you that's kind of different. So there's no need to really puff yourself up. Okay, or act, overly confident.
Right.
Being braggadocious, you just low. Like I'm low key a lot of the times, man. I ain't out there like that. I'm not amongst these white boys getting drunk and all out of pissy and all of that shit, or being around these old Negroes all day. That's not me.
Yeah.
I'm to myself, because I don't want to deal with these jackasses anyway. That's my mentality.
Right.
Anyway, brother, yeah, give me that what I fought for.
Ezekiel 33 verse what?
30.
Verse 30, yeah?
Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 30. Also thou, son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses.
Because they were doing it back then during the time of Ezekiel. When Ezekiel was prophesying, they were bigging him up. Yeah, Shalom, and I like the way he sounds. He speaks very eloquent. And hey, Ezekiel was probably a good speaker back then. For them to be watching him like, wow, looking at him for some kind of entertainment purposes, going.
And speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear what this word that cometh forth from the Lord.
Exactly. Because they looked at Ezekiel as like a god, like, wow, he's pretty much bringing out these kind of words, like, wow, he's bringing it out. He knows what he's talking about. But they didn't take heed to what he was actually saying. They didn't put into action to what he was actually saying. But it just sounded good just to listen to. And you have these kind of jakes in this very moment in time where they'll watch the videos and hear what we have to say, but they won't take it to consideration and make an effort to take the action, to take it to a new level. You know what I mean? So you got them kind of guys out there. But the Lord is going to destroy them. And that's why I say all the time, I'm not out here for all of Israel.
Yeah.
I'm out here for the elect, for the sake of the elect. That's why we're out here. And we're out here to tell our people the deal. And we out here to tell you, where you from, by the way?
I'm from around here, but I'm just trying to figure out what you are standing
Yeah, what we're here for, what we're standing here for is, for one thing, we're preaching to you the gospel, the Bible. And we're out here to tell the world that there's going to be a nuclear war. I'm pretty sure you're aware of an incoming nuclear war, World War III.
Yeah, but are you what exactly are the 12 tribes of Israel, or is it
that's what we're teaching
a
you.
religion?
I mean, you could say it's a religion because we're binded in this truth that we're bringing to you, But this is more of a nationality thing than anything else, because you have a certain nationality of people that's under the covenant, the Abrahamic covenant.
Okay.
So those people there, which is contrary to popular belief on how all people are going to be saved through Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now Jesus Christ, because these people are only under the covenant, these are the only people that's going to be saved by him. Okay. No one else. So that's what we preach as well. Give me that in Matthew 10, I believe it's verse 5. Yeah. So that's what we're preaching. So in order for you to be saved by the Lord, or from the heavenly Father, you got to be Israel. You know what I mean? So let's get this.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 5, yeah?
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not in the way of the Gentiles.
In other words, the other nations, the other races going.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Yeah.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That was the message from who you call Jesus Christ, but we call him Yahushua. He told the 12 disciples to go preach to the children of Israel and tell them that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Go on.
Verse 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Exactly, because the kingdom of heaven is only for these people. Now, who they are today is what we have over here. So you have the so-called American Negroes, the so-called West Indians, the so-called Haitians and Dominicans, etc. This is who they are biblically. Originally, this is who they are today. So, and it's not just with the American Negroes, you also have our people that are in West Africa as well. You have Israelites that are all over the world. But basically, yeah, these are the only people that can only but be saved. And the salvation is only for, so to speak. But, yeah, what you saying, brother? Yeah, go and read that.
It's Matthew 1 and 21, it says, And she shall bring forth a son, And thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
He shall save his people from his sins. That's a pronoun.
And do you go back to a founder as such? Because very often the little I know about religions, they go back to specific founders, for example. So is this religion the 12 tribes of Israel? Does
Yeah,
it
you
go
can say
back
that.
to someone who very consciously founded it? Or?
Yeah, well, I can explain. Well, originally, there was a guy back in the 60s, and his name is what he was called at the time, Abba Bivens.
Okay.
Abba Bivens. So through him, we pretty much gained all of this information, and through him, he was teaching that the so-called blacks in America were the Jews, but he couldn't, pinpoint whatever consecutive tribe they came out of. But he got that information already.
Alright.
So it was through him, Abba Bivens, that we gained this information. But it was really through the Spirit of the Lord, because it tells you in the Bible that we would lose our heritage, and then pretty much we gain that information and know who we are, and then also teach it too.
And would you hereby identify as Jews?
The real Jews,
you
yeah.
do.
We all do. We identify ourselves as the real Jews. Yeah.
So you identify as Jews in the diaspora and in Israel as such. You're all sort of one group, if I may use the word.
Well, really, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you like this. Well, you have two groups of people, right? You have us, which we declare ourselves to be Jews, and then you have the Israelis. Now, those people, the Israelis. Now, the reason why we can say that they're not Jews is because they're not. It's not because they're not dark skinned, but because they don't fit the the prophecies. They don't fit the curses of being the Israelites. But we fit the curses of the Israelites to a T-bone. Very well, we fit it.
But
give me that in Deuteronomy 28:68. Yeah, what are you saying? Go on.
Don't you think that? I mean, obviously you have Israeli Jews and you have Jews in the diaspora. So don't you think that Israeli Jews will be a bit upset if you tell them that they are not Jews?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, because what matters is the truth sake. That's why we're out here for the truth sake. Because a lot of us have been lied to. A lot of us. And one thing I want to say to you is, you mentioned that there's different variations of Jews. Now, the term Jew goes back to the word Judah. So Judah is just one tribe. So if those Israelis are the real Jews, then how come we don't hear about Benjamin? We don't hear about Levi or the people of Simeon in these lands? We don't hear about that because they don't know too much about the information of being a Jew, because they're not the people. They may have some information about the Jews to classify themselves as the Jews, but they don't have it all. Okay, and they don't. And I don't cut you. And another thing, they don't have the prophecies to back that they are the Jews.
Exactly. Just listen to what.
Yeah, get that.
Plus, can I just say, they don't have the physical description. That the scriptures tell you.
Get on Lamentations 5 verse 10.
He's already got a precept already, brother. Let him read this, and then he can get that one there.
All right, Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
Right, since Judah mourneth and the gates thereof languish, they are black unto the ground.
Right.
So if you look at the ground is made out of different ground kind of soil.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing right there that would hint that the Jews are dark-skinned people.
Yeah.
We don't use the term black, because the word black, no one's black on the planet.
But you have very clear references in the Old Testament, like to the tribes of Judah with various different ones. So that is something that Jewish people very strongly identify with and take as their word.
Let talk, brother.
I am very grateful for all your explanations, because
you get Lamentations 5.
I have never fully understood what that religion is, but I would still like to express my surprise that you do not accept Israeli Jews as Jews. So my probably last question for today, and then I have to move on. Do you accept Jews in the diaspora as Jews, or are you?
But you have to be more specific, because
like for example, you have Israeli Jews in Israel, the modern state of Israel, but then you have